Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. Trust we are doing very fine, and yes, I am pretty sure almost everyone here have watched the first video, the introductory class on Power BI. So yeah, I am sure we already have a brief insight of how Power BI looks like and the basic features of Power BI, the interface, and some functions of some things in the interface like this visualization, this this different views here, these different panes and some other stuff. So yes, with that, I want to welcome us to another class in the data analysis class with Inox Up, and I am pretty sure today we are going to learn a lot. Yeah, so let's dive into what we have for today. So today we are going to talk about data preparation and power query. Data preparation and power query. So yes, um before I start, I know a lot of us we've known this already, and I already emphasized it in the video on data cleaning in our Microsoft Excel class. Yes, but I'll say this again that your good analysis begins with good data. Yes, good analysis begins with good data in the sense that if your data is actually faulty, if your data has a comma, your analysis will not be the best. You won't get the best analysis from that particular data. And if your analysis is faulty, you get wrong insights. And if you are making decisions from that, you know the outcome already. Yes, so good analysis begins with good data. And when I say good data, the first thing is the data source must be the data source must be credible. The data you are using must be relevant. Yes, the data you are using must be relevant to the analysis you are doing, to the analysis you are making. If you're working on something related to children and you're getting data sets directly, maybe from adults for that same analysis, and it's not maybe something auxiliary to it, you are wrong. The data is actually not the best for you to do. In fact, it's not what you should be using. Yes, and yes, if you now have your data, you are sure of the authenticity of the data. You know that okay, this data is actually from a credible source, it's from a reliable source, and also it is relevant to the analysis you are making. The next step is this can I use this data for this analysis? Yes, you can get your data set and then you won't be able to use it at times. So this is where you might not be able to use it raw the way it is like that. So this is where data preparation comes in. This is more like when you get your data set. Okay, I have this my data set I want to use. When you want to bring it to Power BI, before you start doing your analysis, your visualize, before you start building visuals and all on Power BI, you need to first prepare that data, right? You need to first prepare that data. Okay, let's make it let's bring this data into a way that is going to give us a very good analysis, or is going to let's convert this thing into a way that Power BI will understand. Do we get that? So yeah, why is data preparation very important? It's not important, it is very important actually. Why is data preparation very important? Number one, raw data is most times messy, is not clean. And data cleaning is also part of data preparation. Yes. So the data you get from your raw data source or from your client, sometimes data might be messy. You can have errors there. You can have missing values there. You can have missing blanks there. You can have duplicates there. You can have some columns that are not even named rightly there. You can have some things that that will not even make your analysis easy for you. The data type might not be correct. So all these things, when you have your all these things come with raw data a lot of times. So you have to work on this data. You have to take this step. You have to take it with all seriousness. Yes. So also mistakes in data will lead to wrong insights. When you have a data set that has errors, that has blanks, that has duplicates and all, the insight you'll be getting from there won't be correct or will most likely not be correct, and this is going to affect our results. Yes. And also clean and structured data is the best for you to use actually. When your data is clean and your data is structured, it will help your work, it will help you work faster, it will help you get even accurate results. Yes, and to help you create better dashboards. When your data is clean, your data is structured, your data type is correct, your data is in the right way it is meant to be, you find out that your work is going to be faster as a data analyst. Your work is going to, the results you get will be, it will be more accurate. You will even be very confident in what you are doing, and also your dashboards, it will be easier for you. You'll be able to create better dashboards. So yes, now before you go into data cleaning, yes, this is one step that is very important. Before you go into data cleaning, you should ask yourself before you start your all the process. Yeah, this is also part of, I would say it's part of data preparation, because I mean you are preparing yourself now for this work ahead. Do you understand what each column represents? Okay, you have a data set in front of you. This is a column is here, a column is here, a column is here. Do you even know what this data set means, or you just have the data set, you just want to quickly analyze something and report it? Is usually is not ideal. You should have, will I say, background knowledge of what your data set is, of what each columns represent. This is where metadata comes in. This is where metadata comes in, and metadata is basically um it can be a file, it can be a data set or something, but it's majorly something that talks more about your data set. Yes, you should know what each columns represents. Know, are there missing values? Are the data types correct? Are there duplicates? Are there errors? So please, please don't just assume that your data is correct just because it looks organized. When you are looking at it, when you are just having a brief or an overview of your data set and you're just saying that, wow, I'm not seeing any blanks here. Okay, okay. I'm not seeing this data is looking structured, it's looking organized. I mean, the widths are perfect. The sizes of the cells, they are very good. This data set looks okay. Don't just assume, because the data set might actually not be clean. So don't just assume that your data is okay because they gave you the way, because it looks organized. Yes, check it very well. With the way it's looking organized, it might have some commas that you have to trash out before you start your analysis. So yes, let's now get to work. What is Power Query? So I said it there, doing data preparation and Power Query. Basically, we are using data Power Query to prepare our data. We are using Power Query to clean our data. Yes. So Query is a tool in Power BI, and yes, it is also available in Excel. Power Query is a tool in Power BI, and is also available in Microsoft Excel. You know, I already said it that the both of them, they are both Microsoft. Yes, so Power Query helps us to load our data, it helps us to clean our data, it helps in data transformation. You transform your data basically, and also you can use Power Query to merge or combine data. We're going to go into it. We're going to go into all these things that I mentioned. So yes, let's start how to open Power Query Editor. So if you want to use your Power Query Editor, is this transform data. When you click on your transform data, it will take you to Power Query Editor. But before we start, let's get a data into this Power BI first. So the data we are using is actually an Excel workbook. I've already sent the file to the group. So let me just import it. So let me see, I clicked on this get data. It's an Excel workbook. Also, you can use this, you can click this Excel workbook and then see it here too. You can also any of them, you can use any of them, whichever works for you. Import data from Excel. So let me just use this. Okay, so this is our, I said that there a way you can access Power Query Editor is this transform data. That's if your data set has been loaded, if you've imported your data set. But if you've not, if you just want to import your data set, this is another way you can do it. So when you have this on your screen, our data set has three different tables. So select the three of them since we are going to work with the three of them. If you are not working with everything, you don't need to select them. If you are sure you are not going to work with them, you don't need to select them. So let's just pick these three. And if your data is clean, sometimes I use Microsoft Excel. A lot of times when I want to use Power BI, I clean my data on Microsoft Excel, do some stores on Microsoft Excel, then come into Power BI to just build my visuals. But if you want to start from scratch with Power BI, you have to first transform your data. We saw transform data somewhere here before, but now we are saying it again. So this is if you want to just load it like that. If you cleaned your data, if your data set is clean, you just load it directly. But if not, you click on this transform data and it's going to take you to Power Query. So yes, it is loading. This is our Power Query Editor. You can see it here, Power Query Editor. Yeah, so that is how to access Power Query Editor. So in this Power Query Editor, we have on this left side, we have our query list. This place, you can see this query pane. So it shows all the tables or data sets that we are working on. It's like a list of all our data. This is one table, you can see this is one here, this is another one here, this is another one here. So this is basically um what the power this query pane is for. Is just to show all our tables and our data set. If you have more, it's going to show here. So also we have data preview area. This is where you can actually see and interact with your data. So this is, I mean, as the name implies, preview. So we can actually see our data. You can preview it. Okay, this is exercise. Okay, this one is under here. This is customer info. This is it here. Sales data. This is it here. So that is what this preview pane is for. This data preview area. And also we have to clean, transform, and merge, append, and all. You can see that the interface looks similar. You can also, yes, we have applied steps. These applied steps here, whatever cleaning process, every action you do, everything you do here is going to be recorded here. It's going to be here. So automatically, when you get your data into this Power Query editor, there are some things it will do for you automatically. So these are the stuff that it actually did. So yes, as we continue, we are going to see more importance of this applied step. Yeah, and if you've made a mistake, you want to undo it, you can just cancel it. If you don't want, it has already changed the data type. I mean, when we loaded this data set, when we brought it into Power Query Editor, it already changed the data type into something that it could read. I mean, it's not wrong. This is age, you can see it as numeric. This is city, you can see ABC here. So it is actually right. So this is one cleaning process that Power BI already did for us. So whatever data cleaning step or whatever thing you do on your data set is going to show in these applied steps. And if you made a mistake or you want to undo it, you can just cancel it. I don't want to cancel this. But then if you want to undo something, you just cancel it because Control Z won't work. It won't even be the best for you at all. So yes, on Power Query, there are a lot of processes, there are a lot of things you can do on Power Query. You can remove columns you don't need. You can rename columns for clarity. If you don't like the column name, you can rename it. You can change your data type. You can fill in missing values. You can pivot and unpivot your data. You can merge and append data sets and some other things. We are going to look into these things step by step actually. So the first thing is removing columns. When you have a column that is not needed, you can you can remove it. How to remove column? You can see this extra info here. We don't need it, so just right click and remove. You can see that we already removed that particular column, and you can see this removed columns. Can you see it here? What we did, it already applied, it already showed in this applied step. If you want to undo it, you just cancel it. So you can see our column back. And yes, you can also use remove column button. I will remove column here. We can use another method to remove columns, right? You can just click on it, then click this remove columns, and you can see that it is off. So this is it here again, remove columns, removed columns. So yes, another thing, the next step that we should do, that we need to consider, is the data type. So basically, data type is how Power BI understands the data. You can have it as like text, whole numbers, decimal number, date and time, blah blah blah. This is it. So how to fix your your data type? You can see beside each columns, you see this small thing there. This is the data type. So this one actually this is the data type here. So it's considered this as a text. So if it is decimal number, you see 1.2 there. If it's fixed decimal number, you see this. If it's whole number, you see this. If it's percentage, you see this. Date and time. So these things are just ways that when you just see it, you easily know that okay, this one we easily know that this is text. This one we easily know that this is a whole number. So if you want to change it, you just click this, and then you change it to whatever data type you want to use here. Then yes, your data type must be correct. You should always check for your data type. You should ensure that you are using the right data type for your analysis. Another thing we should consider too is filling missing values, filling missing values. You can in this Power Query editor, one other thing you can do is filling missing values. Yes, so let's quickly dive into that. So you can see this, just select the column. You can see this null here. So there are two different things we can actually do. We can fill up and then we can fill down. Can either fill it up or fill it down. So when you click on it, go to your transform and then you see this fill here. If you want to fill up, that means whatever, if let's assume it is this one, is this 45 that is going to fill, that is going to be filled here. But for the if it is filled down now, if you want to use fill down for this particular age, this 32 will be here. But if you want to use fill up, it is this 45 that is going to show here. So for this city, let's just fill down, so you can see that it has already filled it. So these are things you can do to fill up your missing values, right? Okay. Yeah, and another thing we can do is pivot and unpivot. Okay, what pivot is that? This thing, we've talked about pivot table on Microsoft Excel. So pivot table is more like a way by which we rearrange our data sets. Actually, it's more like rearranging it. So on this Power BI, when you say you want to pivot something, it's like you are turning your rows into columns. And when you say you are on pivoting, you are turning your columns into rows. Let me take that again. Using Power BI, when you want to pivot a particular data set, that means you are turning your rows into columns. And when you are on pivoting, you are turning your columns into rows. So let's use this example. We are using this sales data set. Okay, so let's take this January sales, we have February sales, we have March sales. So this one, they're actually columns. So we want to turn them into rows. I mean, so that we are going to have, okay, for let me do it, so we are going to see it better and we are going to understand it. So you can see that we have January sales, we have February sales, we have March sales. So let me select the three of them. When you want to select it, you just select one, then you press control, select the next one, select the next one. That's a way by which you can select the three of them, because if you just click on only this and then want to pick this, want to pick the next one, it might not work that way. Okay, so January sales, then I click on my control, February sales, March sales. These are actually columns, so we want to turn them into rows. So what we are going to do is we are going to unpivot. We are going to use unpivot. So when you check your transform ribbon now, you see unpivot columns here. So let's just click on pivot. You can see that it has converted all this, it has converted our rows into columns, in the sense that January sales now, for, okay, customer one, January sales. Let me just give you few time to look at this very well and explore it and relate it to what we had before. You can see that January sales now 500. For customer one, the January sales is here. Customer two, the February sales is here. Customer three, the February sales is here. So instead of having January sales for customer one on the column, different column for January, different column for February, different column for March, we are having the months, right, on this, on one the month on one column, and then the value, that's the sales made on another column. So for this, if you want to work with this particular data set, you can just change the name of this. You rename this. So you just double click it When you double click it, you just change it to months, and then this is the let me just say sales. So we unpivoted it and then we renamed it. So you can see how this pivoting and unpivoting works. So if you have your data set like this and you want to expand it, you want to turn the columns into rows, you want to unpivot it, you just select this particular one, this month, then pivot column, use the names in months to create new column. Yes, so that means it's trying to say, like, it's saying that it is the input, the values we have under this month that we're going to use to create the new column. Yes, that's January, February and March. So they said the values, which value are we actually like considering, are we using to separate them? So the value is the sales, then okay. You can see that the data set has gone back to the way it was before. And yes, you can see that everything we did reflected in this place, reflected here. So let me talk about margin queries. Let me see if we can do this. Yes, before I go into that, I want to explain this profiling. Can see this January sales. If you want to like have like an overview of it, can just check the column distribution. It's going to show here. Can see 4 distinct, 4 unique. What this thing means, what distinct means, is that there are 4 different inputs. We have 500, we have 300, we have 700, we have 400. That means they are distinct. Here we have 4 distinct, like there are 4 that are distinct. Then when we say unique, this unique means the inputs that are just one, that have just one, that are not repeated. Yes, that are not, like, now let me use this to explain it better. Let me use this city to explain it better. So you can see that we have New York, we have Chicago, and then we have this third city. Yes, so you can see that there are two. When they said there are two unique values, that means, you see, New York, it appears just once, Chicago appears just once, so that means they are unique. Unique here means appearing just once. Do we get? And when we say distinct means how many different values do we have. You can see we have this Houston, we have Chicago, we have New York. So we have these 3 different distinct values, but then only 2 of them are unique because this one is repeated. I hope you understand. I hope you got that distinct and unique. Let me explain it again. When we talk about distinct means how many different values do we have there. Like, now you can see we have this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. I mean, these 2, they are repeated, so we cannot consider the both of them. We have to consider one of them. So this is 1, this is New York is 1, Chicago is 2, then this is the third one. But then when we talk about unique values are actually the values that appear just once. You can see this New York appeared once, Chicago appeared once. You can see this one too. The reason why we have 4 distinct and 4 unique is because 500 appeared once, 300 appeared once, 700 appeared once. So this column distribution is actually going to show you, it's more like an overview. Yeah, everything here under this view, this data preview, it will show you different, it will give you an overview of your data sets basically. And from here, okay, let's uncheck it. Now this column profile, let me just double click it. It's calling. You can see this is what it is talking about. You can see that it's more like is giving you an overview, basically an overview. When I double clicked, it showed this actually, but when I because this column profile is checked actually. So you can see that from this it showed it is more, will I say it showed a lot of things for, especially for our mathematics, for our numeric columns actually. It works better for numeric columns. So we have four, the distinct four, unique four. NaN means is more like no value, then that's zero. Zero is zero. There is no value here, that is zero. Minimum here is 300, maximum is 700. The average is the standard deviation. How many even numbers we have, how many odd numbers we have. So this is basically the column statistics. So let's check another thing, this column quality. You can see the column quality here. It is going to show you how many of them are valid, how many of them has error, how many of them we have that are empty. This age is very perfect to explain it. Okay, there is no error there, but you can see that one of them is empty. So that's why empty, 25% of our values are empty. Then 0% error, 75 of them, 75% is valid. So that is basically what this column quality shows. It shows us the quality of our column basically. So um let's go back to what we are doing. So the last thing I will explain here is how to merge queries. It's merging of queries. So I'll give an assignment. The assignment is find out what appending queries is. Is very simple. It's very simple, trust me. And I am giving a deadline of 3 days for the assignment. What is append queries? And using this same data set, explain how you append queries and how append queries work actually. Just send it to me, send the assignment to me, and please, the deadline is in 3 days. So we'll be talking about merging queries. So when we are talking about merging queries, it's more like combining two tables by matching columns. It's more like joining two tables together actually. So let's see this customer info now. You can see from this customer info the column. Yeah, this data set is not clean. It's not clean because I mean this is column one. What is column one? What is column two? What is column three? So our this is meant to be our header row, the column ID, gender, and the membership. So go to your home. Go to your transform tab rather. So under your transform, you are going to see use first row as header. So we've done that. So you can see customer ID, gender, membership, and all. You can see it here. So I want to talk about merging queries. We want to bring gender and membership into sales data. So that's where merging queries come in. So you can see customer ID, John D, the age, the city, the sales for the different sales we made from them, January, February, March. So we want to know their membership status. Want to know their membership status and want to know their gender. So you can see this is the customer information. So the customer ID, you can see that this customer ID links different these two different tables together. So customer information and then the customer, this is the customer ID. So we want to bring this information about these customers into this sales data. It's going to like create another column for it. So let's get into it. So on the home tab, you click merge queries. Okay, let's go to our home tab, and then this is merge queries here. Is around the right side under combine. So merge queries. Okay, let me just use this. It's actually the same thing, but you might click this V, this icon beside it, or merge queries, then merge queries as new. So this is going to create a new merged table actually. Then this is our sales data. You select this customer ID, is the one that is matching both of them. Then okay, for this join kind, okay, you leave it as all from first matching from second. That means our sales data, everything in our sales data like 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to is still going to stand. So we are now importing the matching stocks in. If the next one, the second one is showing, okay, let me just impute something as the second one. We have our customer info. This is our second one. So let's assume this one has 1, 2, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 to 10. So this all from first matching from second means everything in this one, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3 is still going to stay. But this matching from second so far, okay, if this one were to be 1 to 10, customer one, the gender and the membership for customer one, it will show here. So it's only the matching ones from this one that is going to it's only the matching ones from this customer one that is going to search for and extract from here, and then it's going to bring into this particular table. So let's click these two, let's select these two. These are the matching, these two are the ones that are matching actually. So this is what this all from first matching from second is. If you want it to be other way around, you can do it. If you want to bring age here, that's you tweak it, you pick another option, you pick right outer. So I hope you understand what this is. Then after that, click your okay. So you can see this. Then customer name, let's just move to the last thing here. You can see this customer info, can see this thing. So you are going to click this expand. Then what do we want to show? We want to show gender and membership from the second one. Then okay. You can see now that after match sales, we have the customer information, the gender, and then the membership. You can see that this John Doe now has age, he has city, January sales, February sales, the gender and the membership. Ideally, it was not there before. So this is how margin works. So I already gave an assignment that you should work. If you know margin very well, append is going to be very simple. And please, this is just to track if we are really following. So as we round off, I want us to I just want to reiterate this, that please always check your data type. Always check your data type. Especially on Power BI, always check your data type. There are times that I would have done a lot of analysis. I would have done my cleaning, but then I skipped this data type, but then I still met it. I still met it when I was doing my analysis. So I had to go back to the data preparation process, to the data cleaning process. Please always check your data type, and then remove your unnecessary columns early. And one other thing too, your columns, if you want to rename it clearly, because you are going to be using your column name a lot. It's going to help you a lot when you are doing your visualization. So yes, and when needed, you fill your columns, you pivot it, you unpivot it, and yes, save your work. Just control S, it won't bite you. It won't bite. Save your work frequently. Save your work frequently. Yeah, so before the next class, we must have done the assignment. So I really I hope we learned a lot from today's class. So see you in the next class. All your questions, you can drop them on the comment section. You can drop them on the group. You can drop them in my DM, and I'll attend to everything. So thank you very much, and see you in the next